We're going to take a look at the top 15 remaining players in the college football transfer portal in just a moment. But first, shout out your favorite team. Obviously, spring ball has wrapped up and summer workouts are just around the corner. Then, hey, college football will be upon us. I, for one, cannot wait as myself and producer Cooper college football junkies. So shout out your favorite team. I'm a TCU Horned Frog. He's a Texas Longhorn. We got our squads. What are your squads? I want to read them in the comments section. Like I said on today's show, we're going to take a look at the top 15 players still available in the transfer portal. We've seen some new names enter the portal here after spring ball. My name is Harrison Graham. Let's go ahead and break down some of these guys on today's video. Kicking things off, a name that you may or may not be familiar with, and you should be if you're not. His name is Zakhari Franklin, the wide receiver out of UT San Antonio. Bit of a shock when he entered the portal after spring ball. Not because he's not good enough to go play for a bigger program, just because typically a guy with crazy production doesn't end up transferring, but you're seeing more of this where guys have success at smaller schools, and then they say, you know what, I want to get my name out there. I want to go to a Power 5 and give myself a better chance of getting selected in the NFL draft. Zakhari Franklin is a stud. I mean, I've watched this guy multiple times. You look at his career in San Antonio, 262 catches, over 3,300 yards, 37 touchdowns, almost 13 yards per catch. I think most programs in Power 5 would be interested. You got to wonder if he stays in state and goes to a Texas or a TCU or a Baylor. If he wants to stay in the state of Texas, we'll have to wait and see, but a lot of teams are going to be interested. Keon Coleman, the wide receiver out of Michigan State. An interesting story here. Jayden Reed, who got selected in the second round by the Green Bay Packers out of Michigan State, apparently got some feedback that had he played with a better quarterback than Payton Thorne, who's also now in the portal, we'll get to him in a minute, then he might have been a first-round pick. And apparently he told Keon Coleman that, and so Keon Coleman said, okay, I'm going into the portal. I want to position myself to be a high draft pick in a year or two. Coleman had a good year last year, almost 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. Him and Franklin are the clear top 2 receivers in the portal right now. Interesting name here at number 3, Alton McCaskill, the 4th running back out of the University of Houston, had a monster freshman campaign in 2021 when he rushed for almost 1,000 yards, caught for 113 yards, 18 total touchdowns for McCaskill. Then he had injuries in 22, did not play, went through spring ball with Dana Holgorsen and the Houston Cougars, but then entered the portal. It was a bit of a surprise, but he is now available to go ahead and commit elsewhere. Casey Thompson, who's entering his 12th year of college football, actually 6th, but he's been around for a while, out of Nebraska. Jeff Sims beat him out. At least that's what it appears to be. If Thompson is back in the portal, new head coach Matt Rule going to roll with Sims. So Thompson looking to finish his career elsewhere. Started his career at Texas, had to wait a while, played for a season there, transferred to Nebraska, was mostly their starter last year, and his raw numbers are pretty solid. He's played a lot, he's put up decent numbers, but has not won a lot of big games. But I think there would be a lot of Group of 5 programs that would like to have a Casey Thompson, a veteran experience, a leader type. You're not going to go to a New Year's Six Bowl with this guy, but a little bit of dual threat ability as well. We'll see where he lands. I think he's the top quarterback in the portal right now. Where will Casey Thompson end up? Take a guess, predict it for us in the comment section below. I think it'll be interesting. One of the last big dominoes to fall at quarterback. Cameron Johnson, the offensive lineman out of Houston as well. Switched to guard last season, played pretty well, was an all-conference member, and perhaps looking to find a new home, which is interesting because Houston is going into the Big 12, so they're going to get more exposure, but looks like he's on the move as well. If you want more college football videos, let us know. Subscribe. We'd love to drop more coverage between now and the college football season. We, of course, do a bunch during the season. Top 25 rankings, weekly live shows when the CFP committee releases their rankings every week. We will continue to do that, of course, but if you want even more videos, recruiting and everything else, subscribe and prove to us that you do. All right, a couple of Colorado receivers here. Montana Lemonious-Craig, and then Jordyn Tyson out of the University of Colorado. Lemonious-Craig Lemonious. Oh, wow. Producer Coop, what would I do without you? If only you corrected me the first time. He's the guy who went off in the spring game for a 98-yard touchdown in the spring game, and then he entered the portal the next day. People were like, what the hell is going on? And now we've seen like every player at Colorado go into the portal. Tyson had a team-leading 470 yards and 4 touchdowns in 2022. Deion Sanders is clearly kicking people out the door. Some players are kicking themselves out. They're just looking for a different opportunity. So you've got both of those guys. Apologies for the pronunciation error there. Jordyn Hudson, wide receiver out of TCU, a massive recruit in 2022, top 100 guy. He was a huge get for Sonny Dykes before his first year as the Horned Frogs head coach, and he flashed as a freshman. I mean, he got some playing time and showed off his talent, but then I don't know what happened. There was chatter after the national championship that he was going to enter the portal. He did not, opted to go through spring ball. But then I heard, and I've got a couple of, I'm not going to say I'm sourced necessarily, but a couple of contacts within TCU's program. He was like their 5th receiver coming out of spring, apparently. So I don't know if he kind of half-assed it or what, had a foot out the door already. Sounds like SMU is pushing hard. He was committed there at one point in his recruitment process. Oklahoma is a place he was committed to as well, so keep an eye on them. Sounds like SMU might be lining up the Brink truck, though, so keep that in mind. Who is the best wide receiver remaining in the portal? Wouldn't be the first time the Mustangs paid big, by the way. All jokes aside. Hudson's got the talent, man, but listen, Zakhari Franklin, Keon Coleman, good receivers out there. What do you guys think? Best receiver remaining in the portal. We've got some hoodies available. I know it's not really hoodie season, although in the north it still might be for some of you folks. 30% off. This is the time to buy, so when college football gets here and it starts to cool down again, you can rep your squad at a discount. Chatsports.com/CFB hoodies. I love these hockey-style ones. You can get a lot of those with some of the Big Ten schools especially. Go check them out, chatsports.com/CFB hoodie. We got hoodies available for all of your favorite teams. That link is in the comments and to the description of this video. Go ahead and represent with a hoodie today. Isaac Ukwu, the defensive end out of James Madison, really productive last year, and some NFL buzz. 7th-year senior coming up for this kid. Quite the story. I mean, with the red shirts, the medicals, the COVID year everybody's getting, you're seeing more and more of this 6th and 7th-year guys. He's looking to take his game to the next level at a higher caliber program. We'll see what program adds a pass rusher. Payton Thorne, the quarterback out of Michigan State. I just mentioned that story about Jaden Reed and Keon Coleman, but Payton Thorne, who is, a bit underwhelming, but he has experience, and I think, again, group of 5, he could start, maybe compete for a job at another Power 5 school, 61% completion guy, 2-to-1 TD interception ratio. He's just kind of erratic, right? Like, at times he looks the part, other times he does not, but he's played a lot of football, 2-year starter for the Spartans, so a name to monitor over the next few weeks. All right, 5 more guys here. Trey Amos, the cornerback out of Louisville. Good ball skills, one of the best DBs out there right now. T.J. Finley, you remember the name, out of initially LSU, transferred to Auburn. Has played a little bit of football. He's a big dual threat guy who just has not been able to put it all together. 57%, 2,200 yards, 12 TDs, 10 picks. Flashed a little bit for LSU as a freshman, and then kind of suspiciously, in my opinion, transferred to Auburn and then didn't get to play much there. So I think he's got to think probably smaller school at this point in time, maybe a Sun Belt school in the southeast region there. We'll have to wait and see where he lands. Do you like the transfer portal? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I think like most things in life, it's got its pros and cons. I think the pros do outweigh the cons, although it's very hard to track all this stuff these days. Y for yes, in for no. Do you guys like the transfer portal? All right, a few more guys here. Var'Keyes, Gums. I will say this. For smaller schools like North Texas, and we saw it with Zakhari Franklin, UTSA wide receiver, it can be a tough thing, the transfer portal can, because you have guys that pop early on. Gums was an all-freshman performer in 2022 for North Texas, and he's like, I can do better. I'm going to go to a bigger school, so that stinks for UNT. On the flip side, they're able to get guys from bigger schools that are looking to get playing time, so it goes both ways. 458 yards, 5 touchdowns. I think he's a Power 5 tight end. I really do. Tre'Quon, Fegans, huge top 150 recruit for Bama corner. Didn't play at all last year, but he's getting a lot of interest in the portal, so keep an eye on him, former 4-star. And then Xzavier Henderson out of Florida was probably going to be their number one receiver, but then went through spring ball and realized that Graham Mertz cannot throw a spiral, so he has entered the portal. Florida's, I don't know, man. They might be in shambles right now as a college football program. Producer Coop knows all about that, so prayers up to Coop during this time. But we'll see where Xzavier Henderson ends up landing. All right, there are the top 15 guys. There's some other names as well in the portal. I am Harrison Graham. Stay tuned. Buckle up. Portal action still happening every single day. If you want more college football videos, hit the sub button, turn on the notification bell, and we'll see you soon here at Chat Sports.